Everyone, it's Amina back with my first video actually. So for this video, I thought that we'd be trying to get to 100,000 Deben in Ancient Egypt roleplay. So I've been playing this game for probably like 3 years now, maybe 2.5, and it's only actually pretty recently that I've started to make some Deben. So I'm around 70,000 Deben right now. So today I thought that we'd try to get to 100,000 by boating. So when you're boating, the first thing that you want is usually to use either like a small server, because smaller servers tend to have more stable pharaohs. So we have one that has 52 people. I'm probably going to go for the one with 14 people. The problem with smaller servers, though, is that sometimes the pharaoh doesn't actually use relations. So, okay, it looks like there's a lot of people in spawn, which is not a good sign, but let's start by being a priest so that we can reserve that spot. Next, looks like taxes are pretty low, so that's a good sign. Pharaoh's pretty rich, that's also a good sign. But first thing we want to do is check out what the relations. So, as you can kind of see, it looks like there's red dots over that. That's not a good sign, but we can probably just beg the pharaoh. Next thing I want to look at is if priests pay taxes. Because with taxes this low, it's not a big deal, but if I'm paying taxes and yep, it looks like priests will pay taxes, then that's going to mean that it's going to take 15% longer for me to get the money that I want. Okay, so relations are not good, so we're going to go ahead and just beg the pharaoh to do relations. Pharaoh, please do relations. Okay, so we got the pharaoh to do relations. Now our next step, since I'm in the bigger server, there's not any room to become a priest, so I'm going to be looking around for a cheap priest shop, and if not, I guess I'm going to be spending a ton of Deben on teleportation bags, which is not the best in the world, but I'll be making enough money that it's offset, so I can afford it. It's just annoying, and it looks like I'm going to have no choice but to do that. So first, you're going to need your ritual chalk, of course. Then you're going to need an unk and cow blood for vitality bags. And then lastly, you're going to want to make a ton of teleportation bags, so just spam by some coal powder and diamond dust. So we're going to go find a place to hide, and it looks like there's not too much time before dusk. So we're going to have to try and do this quickly. So I'm going to do my witchcraft. Plans, they actually made me royal, which thank you to Meowsicle for doing that. So good news is that means that I'm not going to need to pay tax. So bad news is that means that I'm going to need to come back every now and then to maintain relations, but that's also a good thing because I can make sure that relations stay good. The other bad news is that I will need to come back for revolutions for to protect my family, but I mean, that's how it goes. You win some, you lose some. So for now, we're going to start making some teleportation bags. Let's go. Okay, so now that we have just a few teleportation bags, we're going to head over to the boat and start getting some barrels to start trading. And I just looked at relations with, how do you pronounce that? You know what I'm trying to say. I checked relations with them, they're doing good. Meanwhile, everyone else is kind of going to war over there, but we're not going to worry about them. I'm sure they'll figure it out. So yeah, we're going to start trading. And we want that number down there to get higher. And I'm actually not sure how it went up. Oh, it was because I was doing relations, but that's still only like 1 Deben per second, which I mean is pretty good, especially if you're like a peasant. But for a royal like me who wants to get to 100,000, that's not going to cut it. So we're going to use the teleportation dust to get to that place quicker. So you just kind of try to line it up. And we are inside the map. Okay, we do not want to be here, so we're going to start sailing that way. And yeah, I was going to say that you want to be careful using teleportation bags because you can end up inside the map, which is where I am right now. It's not a big deal though, you just need to sail out, and your boat does end up being a little glitchy though, so you just want to be careful. Okay, so now that I'm out, I can just go quickly trade with High Tide. We're just gonna go with that for now. I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong. I'll figure it out later. So then we're gonna teleport back to the boat store. Wow, that was basically perfect. And then we're gonna repeat this process until I get to 100,000, so. What the hell? Anubis. Just wanna go make sure that we bow to him quickly. That's the god of death. You do not want to get on the bad side of the god of death. So, now that we've done that... Oh. Oh, what's O? N? I don't know what that was, but it was something. Okay, I've finished up trading. It's been about an hour, and I've made about 6,000 Deben, as you can see. Not the most, not as much as I wanted to make, but it's still a good amount. And close to 77k, which is a good number, so I think I'm going to leave it here for today. And then I'll continue the journey to 1,000 Deben another day. So thank you for watching.